So there is something that we haven't seen since all the way back in February. We're talking about 2 months ago now. And this is actually pretty crucial for us to start making these more extended movements to the upside and to continue our recovery that we've been waiting for. The great news is that ADA saw some green yesterday. It started on some green note today. And we actually have this compression going on once again. And we're a lot closer to this next leg than I think people realize. And we're going to break that down in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So right now it is at about 61.70. We're kind of within range with what we were seeing yesterday. And that's not really surprising. It's like I talked about in my ladder video yesterday that everything was looking pretty good in crypto despite our drop around the Jerome Powell speech. We actually recovered. We bounced back. We're looking pretty good. Again, we did in fact see ADA print a green daily candle yesterday. This was a nice doji candle, potential reversal taking place right here. I'd love us to get a throwback up to our 20-day moving average, which is at about 64 cents. And that I don't think is very far out of the realm of reality here. A very, very modest day across the crypto market. That's not surprising. BTC, nice bounce off of its 20-day moving average. So it's possible that we could get a little poppy today. And again, just to look back at this leverage, guys, just look at how much in terms of shorts filled in on top here. Yes, we did have some longs fill in below here, guys. So understand that there is some concentration of long leverage that if we do get a move to the downside, we could see liquidations that push price down to 58 cents. But look at how thick this is here. All right. We're talking about a potential quick wick to 64 cents. And a more extended wick actually up to about 67 cents. Now, this isn't to guarantee your financial advice or anything like that. Understand that that's almost a 10% move for ADA, and we would need to see BTC start getting a little poppy and making some moves here as well. And where this really gets interesting is if we look at BTC on the weekly chart, there's something that we haven't talked about in quite some time, and this is this bull market support band in terms of BTC. Now, for those who have followed me here on the channel for a while, you know we've talked about this before, and what this is this 20-week moving average in terms of BTC. During a bull market cycle, it does not break and close candles below this outside of black swan events. And this can be dated back throughout the entire crypto life cycle. You know, we look at last cycle. Here's the red is your 20-week moving average. And again, it was the China banning crypto. We obviously saw the COVID crash back here. And then there was the Egypt conflict all the way back in, what was that, like 2017 or something like that. But I won't go back that far. But what we've been dealing with this market cycle is, we dealt with black swan events, obviously in the summer last year. We broke it a couple times, but now we obviously had two black swan events in 1 month back in February, which was the reason that we started breaking below this trend. And now that we've kind of, we'll call it calmed down. Now that we calmed down, if you guys haven't noticed, this is what BTC is fighting against. All right. It has touched this 20-week moving average almost 4 separate straight weeks. That's a pretty big deal. So BTC is actually showing a lot of signs of wanting to reverse and start closing candles above here. And that, I think, is going to be a very big thing for the crypto market. That is when we are going to start making more extended moves. And in fact, once BTC does start closing above here, this is where you can really get some big wicks, some more extended moves to the upside. Now, it's possible this week could be it. It's possible it might not be. All right. Understand that this actually is not far above us. We're actually at about 84.3 right now, 86.650. That's where our 20-week moving average is in terms of BTC. So that is not, it's not a big ask. And if we continue to see a lot of the similar trends like we have been seeing, institutional players buying, price being defended by whales, I mean, stuff like that is what can really cause a much bigger breakout across the crypto space. That is where ADA can start to make some of those more extended moves, not even just to 64 cents, guys. We're talking about, again, that 70, 80 cent range. You know, right now, guys, 80 cents is a structure breakout to the upside. That's a very big deal. And I'd love to see that sometime in the near term. But understand that you have to be patient. And I've seen some people asking questions about, oh, how long do I have to wait? As long as it takes. All right. This isn't get rich quick. Understand the longer that these formations play out, the more explosive the moves because of the people accumulating at this time. Now, what I will say is something that has just been really sticky and has continued to rise is gold. Okay. Gold has been acting like an absolute meme coin since the beginning of the year. In fact, gold during this time has risen. Oh gosh, I should have measured this a little better. Gold has actually risen 28%. That's a pretty big move. And it's hitting all-time highs. And what we're seeing is a lot of capital is just, again, because of the uncertainty, we're seeing it flock to gold. Okay. It has to do with tariffs. It has to do with trade wars. And what's interesting is, again, I think that this has pulled a lot of capital from more speculative assets, from the stock market, from the crypto market. And there will eventually be a shift in this. Gold has had periods of parabolic run many times in the past. And then what does it do? It cools down for years. All right. That's where we start to get into, I think, our more exciting time in crypto. That's where, again, you start to see a lot of that capital that's on the sidelines begin to flow back into the space. We're in a really good spot to start to see this taking place right now. One more thing I forgot to point out in terms of ADA as well, and I'll talk about this a little more in another video, but we do, in fact, have a nice inverse head and shoulders building here. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, here's your neckline, there's your left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And that's what ADA wants to do. It wants to make this break to the upside. So I would say we're actually in a pretty decent spot right now. I'm not saying I'm super bullish and this is the moment or anything like that, but we're getting pretty close. I'm sure you guys can start to feel it. The market is getting less reactionary, and hopefully that's the case by the time this video comes out, and hopefully this ages well. But we could see some, again, more green as the week goes on. We could see some exciting things as we get into the weekend. Just pray for no surprises. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.